everybody, good morning. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm looking up at my camera. It's way up there. But I decided to come to over this side of my sewing room, where my sewing machine is right here. And of course, you're going to be noticing my quilt cabinet here. I've had this quilt cabinet, I bought it at a quilt show, about 10 years ago. And I can't remember where I bought it from, but I do remember the guy's name was Terry's Woodworking, something like that, if you're going to ask. I'm not quite sure where it is, but actually if you look on Pinterest, if you're interested in this glass cupboard, it opens here, and it has, you can actually hang quilts. There's three spaces for quilts to hang down if you wanted to display them like that. Again, they're on Pinterest, or if you look up quilt cabinets, you'll be able to find something. This doesn't open, but there's this side little door that does open that actually Maxwell just broke. When he was moving it for us in the move down here, he broke it. But as you can see, I have a lot of quilts that I can store this way, but if you wanted to hang them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I'm sure some of you are going to go, ooh, your quilt cabinet. So today I'm not sewing, I'm sitting here, but I am going to be sharing again some Truelove Challenge quilts with you. Now again, if you're new here, what the Truelove Challenge was about 6 months ago. It's coming up to 6 months. Unbelievable how fast that went. I had made a sort of a challenge for people out there to use these fabrics here, or if you couldn't actually purchase these fabrics, to get something similar to what I had given the information for, where online you could buy these actual fabrics all from different fabric manufacturers. There's 6 of them. There was like a red paisley, there was like a rainbow stripe fabric that I asked for. There was like an all over rainbow batik almost looking fabric. There was a blue, sort of a focal fabric that I said. There was a white and multicolored little dot fabric. This has little hearts in it, again rainbow, and then a red and white dot. They were the 6 fabrics that I had asked for people to make a small quilt, 35 by 40 inches. I made mine, and it was much larger. A lot of people, and again, in the very beginning, I was sort of doing a report card. I'm not doing that now because I'm no quilt judge, and I think everybody who's done this challenge, it's not a contest. You can see the rules and the suggestions back at the beginning of my playlist. It wasn't a contest. It was to challenge you guys to take some fabrics, at least 5 of them, and then adding whatever other fabrics you wanted, and challenging yourself to fabrics that you might never have ever chosen, might never have ever picked. That was the challenge in itself. And if you go back on my playlist, you'll see the different quilts that people have come up with. Quite a few of them have found these particular fabrics. Other people haven't, but they've gotten similar. And I have today 3 more that I'm going to be showcasing that people have made and shared, and their little stories that go with it. This is from Jackie. Now, Jackie had sent me this back in January, the end of January, and I'm sorry, Jackie. I had gotten quite a few things, and I had sort of lost this, so I apologize to Jackie. Although I'm doing them now in the order that I'm getting them through, but I had downloaded Jackie's pictures, and then she got lost in the shuffle. So I apologize, Jackie. Here you are. Dear Jean, the quilt I designed is called Butterflies and Fairies. I couldn't get all the fabrics from your list, so I had to substitute them from my stash. My quilt isn't the size. It's 39.5 by 39.5. Again, that was just a small quilt. I wasn't challenging. The challenge wasn't to make a huge, great big quilt. And in some cases, myself included, who's used to making large quilts, that was a challenge in itself, to make a smaller quilt. So Jackie made a wall hanging. My inspiration and thought behind my creation is twofold. The first I thought because I had my granddaughter in mind. She loves unicorns and fairies. The second was I had to focus on something positive. Your challenge quilt came at a right time for me. I found back in October that I am terminally ill. I take one day at a time, and I've always said that everything has an expiration date, and they just don't know, only the Lord. So I'm in the hands of the Lord. So every day is a blessing for me, and I say he's answered a lot of prayers, especially with my son. My son hasn't spoken with me for 4 years, and out of the blue I received a Christmas card. There's always hope. I must say, I'm very glad to have found your videos. Your family's brought me so much joy. Blah, 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 blah. It's so nice. All these accolades for our family. How lovely. You've shown me every day to enjoy the true love heart. Loves and hugs, Jackie's. Oh, it's so awesome. Absolutely. So right now, this is a delightful quilt. Butterflies and fairies. And I'm sure your granddaughter is going to love this, Jackie, because I love it. Well done. Jackie, really, really lovely, and we hope and pray that you heal, and there can be some hope on the horizon for you. It must be a very difficult time for you, but thank you so very much for rising to this challenge, and I'm sure other challenges you will too, with help. So again, thank you, Jackie. This is from Jan. Jan wrote that I loved combining machine embroidery with quilting borders and long arm quilting. Wow, the whole gamut. My quilt is 40 by 60 because I'm selfish. No, it was awesome. I've given away so many that I decided early on this one's for me. Isn't that true? It's so funny. I've given away hundreds of quilts, and sometimes I see them at other people's homes and I'm like, oh, I made that. I completely forgot it, even though I take photographs. This is awesome. I plan to enter this into the Evergreen State Fair this fall. I'm sure you're going to win something, Jan. The embroidery is time intensive. I had an embroidery machine. I had a Husqvarna embroidery machine. And yes, it is very time consuming, but very satisfying to complete. I added Swarovski crystals, trims, buttons, etc. as embellishment. My fabric choices are variations of yours, hopefully. Thank you for accepting my entry. I love your YouTube channel and Facebook page. God is so good, and I thank him for giving me this wonderful hobby. Absolutely. And as I keep saying, in these desperate times, don't we need a hobby that we can turn to and just lose ourselves for a couple of hours? And you did this. This embroidery and your quilt is just beautiful. Thank you so much, Jan, for sharing it. Here, everybody, is Jan's quilt. Jan. Thank you so much. The next quilt that I have sent to me is from Darwin. Darwin, you know who you are. Dear Jean, I hope this finds you all well. This is my completed Truelove challenge. I might have to send several emails to get all the pictures. A challenge for me on several fronts. First, the size requirement, I found it quite small. Isn't that interesting? So what to make? Mine ended up being a 36-inch square. I've made it for a sister in our congregation who gets around on a gopher to go over her knees. That's lovely, little wheelchair quilt. Next, the colors are definitely not in my comfort zone. And I've included a photo of my starting six, the closest I get to yours, as I'm in Western Australia. The third challenge was free motion quilting. I usually stick to in the ditch, but tried some free motion as well. How awesome is that? I always say, I'm like, again, I beat a dead horse here. I love free motion quilting, and even as a beginner, I think you should all learn it because it just frees you to how to you make your beautiful quilt top, you sandwich it together, and you go, what do I do? How do I quilt this? How do I stick it together? Free motion quilting covers a quilt beautifully with just a simple design. Oh, it's lovely. So very, very well, Darwin. Thank you again. I enjoyed the challenge and appreciate the time you put in to make that. Regards, Darwin. Darwin, this is delightful. Even though it's blue, it's so pretty. It's so very, very pretty. It. And you actually got fairly close with the rainbow and the red and the white dot, and then I see a stripe and the other ones. So everybody's, that's all I have right now. The other variations that I have that people have sent in, I think are just so wonderful that you've stepped out of your comfort zone and done something, chosen, me even having chosen these fabrics that I did not gravitate to. When my friend Jen had suggested this way back in October or September, I was like, I don't want to do that because you gravitate to the fabrics you love, and these certainly were not the fabrics I loved. So I just went online and just chose 6 of them. And that again was a challenge for so many people to put together a quilt with fabrics you didn't love. But at the end of the day, boy, oh boy, do we love them. So thank you guys so very much. I have some more in line waiting. I will be finishing up my little squares that I had done, my Moda fabric that's hanging over here, but I just wanted to address these and a few others, quite a few Truelove projects that people have sent in to me. It's so awesome to see. Just an update on our Maxwell. He has not received his new phone yet. His phone had broken and he was in a bit of a state, but I had typed to a few comments, people sending their regards and their love to our Maxwell, because it was a big deal and he wasn't coping very well. Having said that, he had several days away with his older siblings. He was doing some really good physical work, and he's just in a better frame of mind. We did get the actual return package for him to return the wrong phone that he was sent. That was adding insult to injury for him because he was excited and they sent him the wrong phone. It was like, wah, wah. So we got all of that. I put all that together with him yesterday. So that's in the mail going back. And then when Sprint or whoever it is receives the wrong phone, which they sent terrible, Sprint and T-Mobile have not been really helpful, but never mind. Then we would go back to the T-Mobile store and purchase fresh and brand new a phone for him. So he's looking forward to that. We were saying that people nowadays really do need their phones just for safety reasons. Jed was saying, hey Jed was saying that, you know, nowadays if the internet goes down or a connection or device, you're a bit lost. And I was commenting back to him, it was just so funny, a little story. When we moved we lived in Canada. I lived in England for 10 years, had 6 children. Then we moved to Canada. And we then decided after several years in Canada to move back to America, here to Pennsylvania. It was 3,000 miles away. I was 4 months pregnant with our 7th child. And no cell phones. This was 30 years ago. No cell phones. We packed up our home, Ian and I packed up our home that we had in Canada with our 6 children, and we had a large family van that we pulled behind the largest U-Haul trailer that Ian drove with several of the children. I drove a huge U-Haul truck with the biggest U-Haul trailer. I think the whole rig was about 60 foot long. And I was pregnant and had a couple of kids in the front seat with me. Well, we went in convoy, 3,000 miles across America. No cell phones. We just had a map and a plan to meet up. And a couple of times, I was telling Jen that a couple of times I went off on an exit and Ian didn't follow, or vice versa. Can you imagine that now? No, we can't. I was saying, I go out to the mailbox and I take my phone. And you know, what a world we live in. But we were brave and we didn't know any better. And we met up and, you know, we had a plan at the end of the day. But that's where the world has gotten. So we, as I kept saying, we acknowledged Maxwell's feelings about losing his phone. He is attached to it, as we all are. I think all of us. Devices, you want to put them down, but then it's like, ah. So that's the update on Maxwell. He's going to be, he's using self-control. He's okay. And I'll let you know when he gets his new phone. I'm sure he'll be so thrilled with it. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base and say hello to you guys today, this morning. And again, thank you Jan, Jackie, and Delwyn for sharing your lovely Truelove challenges. They're just so absolutely super. And again, the deadline to get pictures in is on March the 15th. I will be collecting any pictures from that point and then making a video of it. But after that, I think this has been a super lovely diversion that we need. Jen said, are you going to do another one? I'm like, I don't know, this is a lot of work. But it's been fun. I've so enjoyed seeing everybody's creations that you've come up with. What a delight, absolutely, to be able to share. And again, please everybody, keep safe, keep our prayers for the terrible happenings. You know, we're in our little safe bubble, but other people aren't. And boy, our hearts and our prayers go out to them. So again, as usual, love from the Trueloves. Thanks for following, folks. See you later. Bye.